Hey guys, Dylan from the Geek Duo here, and today I'll be bringing you my reaction to RWBY Volume 9, Episode 8, titled Tea Amidst Terrible Trouble, in which some tea is spilled. And I just want to say that it seems Rooster Teeth may be having even more issues with Crunchyroll this season than just not being able to provide subtitles, because either they had no say over what the thumbnail for this episode was, and Crunchyroll has just put a massive spoiler in the thumbnail, or that happens to be the least spoilery part of the episode. And if that's the case, well, then we're in for a real wild episode, because I'm not going to say what the thumbnail is, but yeah, it is very questionable as to why that was chosen. Also, should say Happy Easter, because it's technically Easter by the time I'm recording this. It's like 3 a.m. on Easter Sunday, so I'm going to be munching on some Easter eggs throughout this, but yeah. Now, I just want to address the last episode. I did address this in the last episode at the ending, how I'm like, neither side is wrong. However, neither side is in the right with what they were saying. And I have seen people shitting on. They've been shitting on Ruby, they've been shitting on Jean, they've been shitting on Yang, Blake, Weiss, everyone individually, everyone as a group. And I'm like, do you not understand the nuance of the scene? A, this story is not finished, so everything that happened still needs to be resolved, which it's probably going to be touched on in this. They're going to be working to resolve it for the rest of this season, and then how late in the season it happened, it's probably going to bleed into next season as well. Like, you cannot judge something until it is finished. At least not in that sense. Now, did some of them go too far with what they said? Yes, like I said, no one was fully in the right, but also no one was wrong. And you can have that in an argument, especially amongst people who are so close with each other as these characters. And I just, like, I'm okay with the memes that came out of it. I thought when it started, the homophobic Ruby meme, that was funny. Then it just got beat into the ground. People actually believing it, people agreeing with it. And I'm like, no, that is not the point of it. Shut up now. But, and I can't see this episode being any better, because there's going to be the people who will come in and into this episode and be like, oh, they took too long to do it. It's pointless to make amends now. They should have done it in the moment, but or they should have avoided it so it never happened. Like, these things happen, especially when you've got someone who, in the start, won't open up about their feelings, and then circumstance after circumstance after circumstance interrupts them. Like, yeah. Hey guys, Dylan from After the Reaction here. The warning at the start of the episode is not strong enough for the themes that are actually shown. So if you may be affected by anything that could fall under the trigger warning, especially considering the themes surrounding the last two times we've had it, I would advise you to not watch this, or at least not watch this alone, assuming you haven't already seen the episode yourself. in which case, surprising you're here, but still probably best to not risk it. Anyway, let's get into this episode in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh yeah, this comes up again, so considering the first time that happened was when Penny asked for Jean to take her life to move the battle in their favor, or stop it from falling into Cinder's favor. And in the last episode, where we had a whole town of people who wished to not live anymore. Yeah. It's very unsure as to what the tone, or if it's even going to be about the same themes. But yeah. So I had a theory after the last episode that was going to be in my notes at the start of this episode. But with the thumbnail, it sort of spoiled the answer to that. And that being, either this episode, Ruby is going to seek out Neo, and that's going to be the main plot, or Ruby is going to seek out the blacksmith, and that's going to be the main plot. And by saying that, I've probably given away what it is. However, could be the other, you never know.
Ruby? Ruby? What are you doing?
At least she still has
Why
little.
did you shout at everyone like that?
Where am I?
It's okay. I can guide us back. You shouldn't run off, though. You all need to stick together if you want to go home.
Why are you still here?
What? I promised.
I promised to serve Atlas as a huntress. That I'd keep people safe. That I'd be there for my friends.
But we can go back and...
No! You don't know what I've done. What I couldn't do. I can't do this! I could never do this. If you stay with me, you're going to end up dead too. Just go home.
You can't put everyone's death
I said go!
on yourself. Like, honestly, she put sibling death on herself. Penny chose it. I'm assuming she's still feeling it about Pyrrha. Why are you glowing this time? We've seen that butterfly before. But yeah, she's probably still feeling it about Pyrrha, but Pyrrha chose to fight Cinder knowing that she couldn't win. And there we have the answer. The Vanille family and
What is this?
Roman and Neo.
Hello, Red. Been a while. How's How's the hero biz treating you? I gotta say, you're not looking too good.
Where's Neo?
Yeesh, no manners. And after
That is-
everyone came out to see
That
you.
is jarringly different.
Salutations, Ruby.
Hello again.
Ms. Rose, why don't you take a seat?
This hurts.
How is she doing this? Stop it! This isn't real!
Isn't real. You're the one following a talking cat around a fairy tale.
Roman,
Reality's getting
Pyrrha,
fuzzier by the minute,
Penny,
kid.
Ozpin. In a sense, Clover as well.
No, once Neo realized where she was, everything changed. Always loved the idea of a place to run away from it all.
Characters that,
Do whatever you want.
well, I don't, not
Forgot
Clover,
to
I
head
guess,
back
but
on Remnant.
the other four
But we all remember
people
how
have
that
blamed
ended.
Ruby for.
Is that seriously what this is all about? You still blame me for what happened at Torchwick? If you're looking for an apology, you've wasted your time.
Yeah, I mean, the griffin that ate him's probably
They say
long dead.
everyone thinks they're the hero of their own story.
All that.
But
That is jarring.
I knew what I was. And deep down, I think you know what you are too.
The leaves from the tree?
Oh, you're familiar.
How about a little reset?
Is that what you want? Well, if you want me dead, then come get me.
You don't deserve to die, Red. You deserve to be broken down, torn apart, wiped from existence.
He always did like to attack from behind.
I'm going to enjoy watching you break.
Ruby!
People talking in unison is weird.
Damn it. How could she just run off like that?
That hurt.
Clearly upset. That wasn't upset. That was... Ugh! She could have just talked to us.
Maybe she didn't feel like she could. Ruby has always been the one to get us through the hard times. We say things like, we believe in you. We can count on you. I know we mean well, but...
It's not like we were asking her to be perfect.
Who are you to think you knew what was best for Atlas?
I was the best and brightest Beacon had to offer. But I traded my life so that my friends could live.
I mean, yeah, you chose to trade your life. I don't know why I'm talking like
You
I'm
were too late to save me at
talking to
the final
Pyrrha, but
festival. I died in Atlas, too. Didn't I?
don't do this to me.
Can you imagine what that's like?
Oh,
To
hey,
be
the paintings
completely
reflected
and
the
utterly
floor.
Failed. Time and again. By someone who meant the world to you.
You ready for that drink yet?
Gotta do anything I can to distract
More people
myself.
are going to die because of you.
I'm trying to save everyone!
And yet, with all your best intentions, have you ever stopped to wonder if you've done more harm than good?
It's not my
How many more lives do you have to ruin before you realize you're not cut out to save anyone?
Oh, come on.
Ruby,
You just see Torchwick standing there in the background with a smile.
do you really think you can stand to watch more of your friends fall?
Please stop.
Are you ready to admit the truth? That the world would just be better off without you?
This is really painful to watch. Considering 3 characters I loved return. The hell? Oh, hey, it's you.
Ruby. It's over now.
I'm sorry. I don't want to be me anymore.
It's okay, little huntress. I can be you instead. I have been trying to wear you down for so long.
You are as evil as they say.
My purpose. When a poor little heart is broken, I can fill it with mine. I'm afraid I haven't been entirely honest with you, Ruby.
You know,
I'm
shit.
not like the other Afterans here.
We already knew you weren't
I'm
honest.
cursed with curiosity. I need to know everything, but more than anything, I need to know why my makers left me here. Only to leave and make all of... Ow!
You're not a friend. Friends don't.
Does that mean that this was made before Remnant? Why does the cat have a beam attacking? But left me here and made all of you.
I think it's about time we all got what we deserve. Are you ready to admit the truth? That the world would just be better off without you?
And I just had to. And that. Okay, that's not where it is.
You've finally done it! Little Red's gone.
With your semblance
They had to show it us,
We could take
show it
over
to
this
us
whole
through
absurd
Yang's
place.
vision, did they?
Why not? Offing Little Red can't be all you wanted. Right?
Unfortunately, it is all she wanted.
No, 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 no! I needed her!
Take us to her.
You still
Look,
don't get it.
there's another empty
It's not a
vessel
place you
who
go.
has no
It's a place
purpose.
you know.
Because she achieved it.
I've actually found a much better solution to my problem.
Good, Juniper.
You've lost something most important, haven't you? And now you have nothing left. How delightful. An empty host. Perfect for me to fill.
Well. Oh look. John was too late again. It's not putting that on him, by the way.
Ah, the rusted night. Goodness, am I tired of your little sob story. You can't even accept your own futility.
Well, that is disturbing.
This body will do.
Oh great, it's got both of their powers now. I can't tell if Jean was trying to save Neo or just stop the cat. Shut off. Let's see. Who voiced Roman in this? Because it obviously wasn't Gray. Billy Kametz and Christopher Weckkamp. Okay, so there were two voices for... You know, one of them also voiced Clover. Okay, so... Did Lionheart even actually say anything? I guess it was the unison line, but... Leonardo Lionheart. Original voice actor was Jason Rose. Okay, that's the same. You know, Pyrrha is. Penny is. Ozpin is. I mean, not Jason Rose. Jason Rose was Ironwood. Let's check. Yeah, Leonardo Lionheart, voice actor Damon Mills. Yep. Jason sounds correct with Ironwood. Yes, okay. So the only new voice is the first one credited for Roman Torchwick. Billy Kametz. Do I know his voice from anything? Does not look... Oh, Nevereth from the Owl House. Okay. It was like the second episode. Yeah, that's literally the only voice work that I would know of him. I also noticed that it's credited actually has an ending year, so I'm guessing I know why they have two people credited for Roman, because it seems that Billy passed away before this came out. Yeah. At least we got to see my favorite character this volume. Even if it was for a non-speaking role. And guess what? He was the most depressed person in the scene for once. Fucking. Unfortunately, that an aspect of this episode ticks off several people's bingo cards because something bad did happen to Little. They had to show it to us through Yang's eyes, so why? Why go to that extra effort to hurt us? Because Yang has done everything in her life to save her sister, to protect her, to make sure nothing bad happens. Only for the bad thing to come from Ruby herself, while all she can do is just stand there and watch. Speaking of standing there and watching, there's probably going to be a lot of people complaining about how Yang, Weiss, Blake, and Jean just stood there and watched Ruby drink the tea. But I mean, when you're dealing with Neo, you never know if what you're seeing in front of you is actually what's there. Like, Ruby probably thought that that was just another illusion in front of her. The others, like, sure, they could have tried to, like, kick the mug away, but, like, that could have just been shattering an illusion. Meanwhile, the real Ruby is somewhere else. So, without knowing what was actually going on, there's no real way to grasp the whole scope of it. A part of Yang deep down knew that this was actually the real Ruby. And with her, it's shock as to why she stopped. Or at least why she didn't rush forward once she realized it was real. And then the next time we see her, she's half collapsed onto Blake. And then it goes immediately from Ruby and Little being taken back to the tree. Because I did notice that Little didn't get taken until Ruby did. I wonder if that means anything, but they both get taken by the tree. And then it cuts to Neo with Roman's voice saying, "Hey, you did it. You achieved your goal. Now let's go out and rule this place." Come on. Surely killing her wasn't the only thing you had planned. But it was. Neo realized that getting the revenge didn't do anything. You can tell I'm sort of recovering from what just happened. But first they hit us with the Tea Party of the Dead, after giving us brief flashes into Neo's backstory in the form of paintings. Gotta ask, why was Lionheart there? Like, with Penny, Pyrrha, and Ozpin, that makes sense. Those would be the ones to torment Ruby with. With Ironwood, that's her most recent failure with the fall of Atlas. She's blaming herself for that. Thinking they didn't do the right thing. They should have listened to him and all of that. So it makes sense that he's there. With Clover, that was on Crow. Well, really it's on Clover himself, but I don't know why she would use him to torment Ruby. Also, did he ever actually do anything in the fight? Like, we saw Pyrrha, Penny, and Lionheart. We saw Ironwood being a brawler. We saw Ozpin using his cane in a very similar way that Roman did just before he died. But yeah, did Clover ever actually do anything? And like, I can see why she sort of see why Lionheart would be there, like, because she may feel she failed him, she couldn't talk him around to their side to help protect Haven and everything, but I really had to give us such a personal nuts and bolts. It makes sense, but well, first off, jumping back a bit, there is no way that Neo and Roman can be misconstrued as a father-daughter relationship anymore. No, those two definitely, they were fucking. Like, there's no doubt about it. The looks that they were giving each other in the painting, the looks that they gave each other when he caught her on top of the table, like, she definitely had some shadow clone stuff going on while waiting for Ruby. Like, but oh god, if I just realized, I said that I hope they update the opening once it's revealed who those shadow people behind Neo are. Now I sort of hope they don't. Because to see those 6 and Roman stood behind Neo, why there were 10 in the opening? Not 10, there's 9. Yeah, there's 9. Yet there's only 7 there. Also, there's the fact that most of them don't fit the, oh no, I can see it. Yep. Let's bring it up. You've got Roman right here. Miss Vanille. Mr. Vanille. That one's Ozpin. That's Penny. Pyrrha. I'm guessing Clover, which means that one and that one would be interchangeable with Ironwood and Lionheart. I'm going to say the one to her left, well, the left of the screen is Lionheart just because of all the flyaway hair, but... Well, a warning at the start was about similar scenes to, or themes, except, well, it's worse because everything else that happened in the episode as well. Plus, this is a person doing it to themselves. Oh, God. Well, at least you have a week to recover from this before we have the utter fallout of Yang, Weiss, and Blake coming to grips with the fact that their friend, their leader, effectively to all of them, their sister, just killed herself in front of them. Or effectively, because technically we don't know whether that is truly killing. Like, sure, it remakes someone when they head to the tree. However, there are two routes to get to the tree. There's death, and then there's the accepting the tree's calling. Little went because Neo stomped on him. Well, them, sorry. Neo stomped on them. RWBY went because she drank the leaves, which, as we saw from the paper pleasers, is how the tree collects them. So, it's two different routes. Also, as a final thing, I want to look at these photos, well, paintings, because the first one we see, that is Mr. and Mrs. Vanille and Little Trivia. This painting is actually referenced in the book where they got the painter to not show Trivia's heterochromia. Because back then she only had the single color hair, but she still had the pink and brown eyes. The next one is her surrounded by gifts, but her parents aren't the focus. Basically, childhood neglect and everything in a rich family. Then we have the interesting one. And I noted this because if you look at the main photo, that the big one in the center, that is of Neo and Roman with the bodies of Mr. and Mrs. Vanille in front of them and a fire blazing behind them. However, that's not how it happened. Not in the book. Now, I have not read the book. I've been meaning to. However, I have seen a breakdown of the book. The Phoenix Knight went through it after it had come out. And spoilers if you ever intend to actually read it, but at one point, after Neo and Roman have started working together, they head back to the Vanille Mansion. And while they're there, Neo's parents give them drugged tea and knock him out. Neo awakens locked in her childhood bedroom with this massive vault door that's locked from the outside and everything. And she wonders to herself why such a heavy-duty door would be in place to keep her in, especially if they didn't know she was coming back. But then it turns out that Neo's father had dealings with, I forget if it was Little Miss Malachite or Junior's father. It was one of them. They're both two different mafia groups. I forget which one it is. He had dealings with one of them and ended up stealing a load of dust from them. And that dust was actually stored under the floorboards in Neo's childhood room. So the door wasn't to keep her in, it was to keep people out of that room. And Roman calls whichever group it is to the house, and there's a massive shootout between the Vanille family and the gangsters as Neo uses her semblance to hide Roman and her escaping. And one of the bullets hits, I forget if Neo triggers a delayed reaction in the dust or one of the bullets hits the dust, but the Vanille Mansion explodes. And that's how her parents die. So that painting is not actually accurate to the book, which is weird considering they got the one that is outright shown in the book of young Trivia with both brown eyes. But there's also the fact that that painting comes to life, so take it with a grain of salt. There's also the ones of Neo and Cinder at Salem's throne on Monstra, and Neo walking through the streets of Vale. It actually looks to be... Is that her new outfit? And she's got Roman's hat and her umbrella. But I just gotta get to when Neo's on screen. No, okay, that is her old outfit. Yeah, so that is definitely Vale after the attack. Just scrolling over the progress bar to see if there's anything I missed talking. Yes. I think this is the first time we've actually seen battle damage to their uniforms in that. Not even talking about bruises and that, because we saw, I think it was only in Volume 1 where we've seen a bruise, and that was on Jean before he learned how to heal with his aura. But we've never actually seen battle damage to their outfit before this. So I thought that was interesting. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to end this here. I'm rambling as a form of coping, and I'm also trying to keep my humor to a minimum because of the seriousness of the themes that were shown, but this was a heavy episode. I'll catch you in the next one.